All right. Hello, everyone. This is Rich and Bearcat, live and direct from Denver, Colorado. Hope everyone is doing well. All right. Just wanted to make sure that video was working. A couple of weeks ago, I shared a video on my YouTube channel titled Nigeria Cassava Farming Investments. Is it a wise idea? And this was in response to a question that I was asked by one of our viewers about investing in Nigeria. And I just thought that it would be better for me to share my take and respond to his question on video for you guys to watch. For those who are interested in investing in Nigeria, especially in agriculture or real estate, these are subject matter areas for us. This is something that we are currently doing in Nigeria. And a gentleman commented on the video, and I'm going to read his comment to you. And I think I was actually going to hold back on responding to this for a few days, but I've just been thinking about it, and I just felt, you know what, let me go ahead and get it out to you guys. Get his comment out to you guys, and then I'm going to give you my pure feedback on his experiences and his concerns and the question that is asked, just based on my experience. Again, everything that I share with you guys is something that I've done, or I know of someone who's doing those things. I mean, everything is hands-on, practical things here that I share with you guys. So hopefully you can take that information and apply it to your situation and hopefully get the desired outcome that you need. So I'm going to go directly into the comment. So he writes, "Hello, I just stumbled onto your video, and it's been an eye-opening and very informative and educational. I also live in the United States and farming 3.6 hectares of oil palm plantation and cassava on the land. So far, it's cost me 2.5 million naira on the clearing and planting of the oil palm trees. Now we are in the phase of planting cassava, and I find the cost to be too exorbitant. I have already spent 600,000 naira on the cassava stem, tilling and planting, and wondering if it's too much. I am currently an absentee farmer, and my dad is helping. He doesn't like it when I ask questions, especially on purchases of cassava stem. A bundle of cassava stem is 4,000 naira with a max of 45 stems in a bundle. It costs about 4,000 naira for 400 heaps. I also handle the laborers' feed and transportation to and from the farm. Do you think this is cheap or expensive? Thank you." You know, before I answer this, I always want to commend people who have the fortitude, especially people abroad, who are absentee operators just like myself, who have the guts to turn around and face home. Not necessarily saying you are leaving abroad. I mean, I am never not going to live in the United States. The United States of America is my principal country and is my principal residence. I was born in Nigeria, Surulere, Lagos. For those of you who know Surulere, comment in the comment section. Specifically, I was born in Lawanson, Surulere, Lagos. Came to the United States when I was 6 weeks to my 12th birthday. So I've been here for a while, on and off, mostly on. Now, this gentleman is also in the United States of America, so I do want to commend you. Thank you so much for joining us in facing Nigeria, investing in Nigeria, doing something in Nigeria, creating jobs. I have to thank you, because it really goes a long way to help the less fortunate with employment and skills and job opportunities. So thank you for that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and dissect everything that you wrote line by line. So he's in the United States and he's farming a 3.6 hectares of oil palm plantation and cassava on the land. So here is the thing about that I don't recommend. You've got two unrelated crops going on here on this on this 3.6 hectares of land. I'm assuming maybe you carved out 1.6 hectare for palm oil, palm oil trees, and the other half for the cassava. That is what I am thinking that you are doing. Otherwise, I would always say this: pick a crop. Okay, don't intertwine, don't intermingle, do not cross-pollinate your cultivations, because here in the United States, they generally don't do that. I've been working in Middle America for quite some time now. I'm a project manager. I work for one of the largest corporations on the planet, and I travel to rural. A lot of my projects are in rural America. Right now, I'm currently in Denver. Yes, it's a city, but the majority of our projects are in rural America. So I've got an opportunity to see agriculture and how farmers operate. So they generally rotate their crops. So let's say one year you plant all corn. I'm just using corn as an example. One year you plant all corn on the land, on the 3.6 hectares that you have. In your case, I would probably say well, you can't really do that with all palm trees, because it takes about 4 years for you to be able to harvest your palm fruits. It takes about 4 years. So all palm trees is a long-tail agricultural endeavor. You are basically building or cultivating an all palm plantation. One of my uncles owns about 100 stands. By 100 stands, I'm talking about 100 all palm trees in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. He owns about 100. He plants quite a bit. So in this case, you gotta decide what you want to do on your land. Do you want to just be a palm tree plantation person, or do you want to grow cassavas? If I were to advise anyone today who is starting out, I would say go with the all palm tree crop, because in the long term, something like this is great for absentee owners. Cassava cultivation is not a business for absentee owners, because every 10 months to 12 months, you have to harvest your cassavas. And I've done this. I mean, I've cultivated, go and look at my videos. You see my cassava farmland. I cultivated cassavas. It's something that I am never, ever, ever doing again, and I will not wish that on my worst enemy. Stay away, unless you are in Nigeria, or you have a very strong operator in Nigeria that's going to help you manage your cassava farmland. Stay away from cassavas. Oil palm tree, on the other hand, is a good long-tail option for you as an absentee owner, because you give it about 4 years for the trees to bear fruit, and then thereafter is every 3 weeks to every 4 weeks, every 3 weeks to a month, you can harvest your fruit. And imagine if you had, let's just be conservative, let's say 50 stands, right? Meaning 50 trees, and you're generating 20,000 naira a month. And I'm talking about, this is ongoing. It's just gonna keep on going and going for years to come. Just do the math on that. And it's not something that requires you to be there. You don't have to worry too much about weeding it. You don't have to worry too much about tilling it. Now, with cassava, on the other hand, you have to worry about weeding. You have to worry about goats and sheep straying onto your land and eating your cassava, your cassava leaves, or in some cases with sheep, they will eat the actual cassavas down to the roots. So you can start out with, let's say, 1.5 hectares of cassava, and if you don't have control, if you don't have the adequate fencing around it, you could end up losing half of that before you even harvest. And during the harvesting process, if you don't, I always say, anytime that you are at 1 hectare and above, you are going to need machinery. You are going to need a tractor. You are going to need a harvesting equipment. You're going to need all that, because at this point, you are just too big for manual labor. You are just too big for manual harvesting. You are going to need. That's why I always tell people, be careful what you wish for. And I know a lot of you want to start big. Oh, someone is offering me 10 hectares. Someone is offering me 5 hectares. You don't necessarily have to take them up on that offer unless you have the tools and the equipment in place to be able to help you become successful in that endeavor. So people don't usually tell people this. They just say, oh, go into agriculture. But agriculture is more scientific than you think. People think, oh, it's just planting, weeding, waiting to harvest. It's so much, much more deeper than that. And that is why we got away from farming. We are into food processing. We will buy crops from farmers. We would, we will work with farmers directly, but we are no longer in the business of farming ourselves, because it's something that I have done before with cassava, and it just did not work out for me, and that's why I stopped. So I know I digressed there a little bit, but I'm going to get back to what he said here. So he said he's got 3.6 hectares of oil palm plantation and cassava on the land. So he's planting both oil palm, cassava, both oil palm trees and cassava crops on that land, which is something that I wouldn't advise anyone to do. But in this case, if he has already started, it is what it is. You cannot stop now until down the line. Once you harvest your cassavas, just don't cultivate cassavas anymore. Just focus on all palm trees. Trust me, in the long run, it's going to be more profitable for you in the long run, especially as an absentee owner, to just focus on the all palm trees and do away with cassavas altogether, because it's a pain in the neck. So far, he said, it cost me 2.5 million naira on the clearing and planting of the all palm trees. I mean, so let's say for 1 hectare, you're going to expect to spend about, again, it depends on where you are. Where are you? He didn't really say where he was. Are you in Lagos? Are you in Abuja? Or are you in the village? Like, which part of Nigeria are you? Without saying that, it's really hard for me to speak on that cost. But from my personal experience, it is quite a bit on the high side, because I cultivated my cassava on 1/3 of a hectare of land, okay? A hectare is like 10,000 square meters. My land was about 3,500 square meters. So that's 1/3 of that.